Aloha! Welcome to the Getting the Most Out of G Suite Workshop series. This is video 5, which highlights some of the key features of Google Sheets. Let's get started. So what is Google Sheets? It's a cloud-based spreadsheet application that allows you to organize and compute data and create charts and graphs, much like Microsoft Excel. Since it's totally web-based, there's no need to download any special software to your computer to access the program. You may also be wondering, why should I use Google Sheets? One of the great things about the program is that it auto-saves your work as you go, so there's no need to panic about losing your progress should your computer crash. Just like all of the other programs in the G Suite bundle, Google Sheets is also highly collaborative, meaning that you can share and work on sheets with teammates and view their contributions and edits in real time. Now that you have a better understanding of what Google Sheets is capable of, let's discuss how to access the program. From your hawaii.edu Gmail account, you can click on the Google Apps menu in the upper right-hand side of the screen and select the Sheets icon. Alternatively, you can also access the program from your Google Drive page. Visit drive.google.com and click on the New button in the upper left-hand corner. Then scroll down to the Google Sheets option. Now that you know how to access the program, let's go on a guided walkthrough of some of the key features. To begin, let's start with creating a new spreadsheet. From Google Drive, hover your mouse over this caret to the right. From there, you can start a new blank spreadsheet or start a new document from a pre-made template. Let's take a look at the templates to give you an idea of what kind of sheets are available. There are education sheets for teachers, personal sheets with selections like budgets, to-do lists, and calendars, worksheets with things like invoices, timesheets, business budgets, and expense reports, and project management sheets with Gantt charts and project trackers. One of the first steps when you create a new sheet is naming and saving the document to the proper location. At the top of the page, in the upper left-hand corner, we'll click in the box that says Untitled Spreadsheet to name our file. Once the file is named, this folder icon appears to the right. Click on it and you can move the file to a pre-existing folder, or create a new folder by clicking on this icon with the plus symbol. We also have the option of starring the file, which will add the sheet to a list of quick access documents on our Google Drive homepage. Just look for the Starred tab. Now let's browse through some of the tabs at the top of the page. Under the File tab, you can access important functions like the Share feature, options to start new sheets or open existing sheets, import options to upload spreadsheets from Microsoft Excel, file download options, and the version history option. Let's start with the Share feature since that's what you'll use to collaborate with others. First, determine whether you're sharing with anyone outside of the UH network. The university automatically blocks access to G Suite files to anyone without a hawaii.edu address. So if you're sharing outside the network, remember to click the Change button here and select the option that says Anyone with a link to allow access. From there, just click on the box that says Add People and Groups to enter the email address of anyone you'd like to share with. Be sure to check this box if you want to send your guest an email notification. You can also enter a message here to provide additional details or instructions. All of these share options can also be accessed from within your spreadsheet by clicking on this big green share button in the upper right-hand corner. The Edit tab has familiar options like cut, copy, and paste features. Google also lists all of the hotkey shortcuts for these features over here on the right, so it's worth checking out if you want to learn some ways to save time. To view additional hotkey shortcuts for both PC and Mac computers, click on the link provided below the video player, just above the timestamps. Within the View tab, we have the ability to freeze rows or columns. This locks certain cells of pertinent information in place as we scroll through other portions of the sheet. Here's an example. The Insert tab allows for rows, columns, cells, charts, images, drawings, or other special characters to be inserted into your sheets for a more customizable aesthetic. The Format tab allows for the formatting of cells. This is where you'd go if you wanted to change the way that your text displays within a cell, such as changing font style or size, and adjusting things like the text alignment or text wrap controls within a cell. There's also the Conditional formatting feature, which is useful when presenting information in a non-graphical medium. Here's an example. Imagine that we have a large set of data comparing the pounds of fruit harvested from different types of trees over a 9-year period. Our boss wants us to identify all of the high and low yields of fruit by tree and year. He considers any yields greater than 10 tons to be a high yield, and any yields lower than 8 tons to be a low yield. First, we'll highlight the desired dataset. Then we'll click the Format tab and scroll down to Conditional Formatting. From there, we'll move on to the Format Rules section. From the drop-down list, select the Greater Than option and enter 10 as the value. We can change the color here, so let's select green for the high yield years. We can also add another rule to highlight our low yield years. Click the Add Another Rule button, select the same range, scroll down the Format Rules list, select the Less Than option, and enter 8 as the value. We'll change the color to red to indicate the low yield years. Now, we can easily discern between the years and fertilization methods that we want to study in greater detail. Another helpful feature is the Alternating Colors option. If you have a table of data and you would like to make it easier to view by making each row a different color, you can highlight the desired range, go to the Format tab, scroll down to Alternating Colors, and choose from the options on the right. The default settings assume that you have a row of headings. In this case we do, the labels for student names, ages, and majors, so we'll leave that box checked. As you can see, with the colors added, it's now easier to determine which cells fall within the same row. The Data tab allows users to sort or filter data. Here are some examples. Here's a data set with a column of ages and a column of associated lap times. Let's say we wanted to sort the ages from youngest to oldest. We can select the range, go to the Data tab, scroll down to Sort Range by column A to Z. Now the ages are sorted as we want, and the lap time column rearranged accordingly. Alternatively, we could also use the Filter function to achieve the same results. This adds a drop-down list next to our heading label. We can use filters in the same way to sort a column from youngest to oldest or oldest to youngest. Sometimes, when we cut and paste downloaded data from CSV files or information we've copied from a website, it can format strangely in sheets. For example, the data I've cut and pasted from a website here pasted into 3 individual cells. Obviously, these numbers would be easier to organize if they were all listed in separate cells. I'll highlight the data range and go to the Data tab, scrolling down to the Split Text to Columns feature. This feature automatically places all of these numbers in their own individual cells so that they're easier to work with. Here's another helpful tool. The Count function works by counting the number of occurrences within a certain range. In this example, we'll divide the number of students with a grade of 85 or higher by the total number of students in the class to find out how many students have a grade of B or higher. We start by typing the equal sign, followed by the phrase COUNTIF in cell D2. We're prompted to enter the range of desired cells, so I'll select all the student grades. Then I'll type a comma, followed by an opening quotation mark, the symbol for greater than or equal to 85, and a closing quotation mark. Hit the Enter key to see the results. We can see that there are 23 students who scored 85 or higher. We can now move to this cell down here to fill in the total number of students in the class. I'll type the equal sign, followed by count, and I'll be prompted to select a range again. After I've entered the range and I hit Enter, I've already programmed the sheet to compute a simple division formula to produce a percentage. We see that the answer is 57.5%. Sheets can also help us to determine things like minimum and maximum values, averages, medians, and modes for a given range of numbers. This is helpful when computing statistics problems. To find the minimum value, we'll type the equal sign followed by MIN, and we'll be prompted to enter the desired range. Following that same process, the prompts for max, average, median, and mode are the equal sign followed by those words. Finally, there are times when presenting visuals like charts or graphs is easier than showcasing an entire spreadsheet. Here's two examples. Here's a sheet that shows tree height in relation to tree age. To insert a chart, you can select all of the information on the sheet, select the Insert tab at the top of the page, and scroll down the drop-down list to select Chart. Google Sheets automatically populates a chart from the information provided. You can adjust various display settings to your liking with the tools over here on the right. Bar charts can be useful to show variables relative to one another. Again, we'll highlight all the data and select the Insert tab and Chart option. The default output is usually a line graph, so we'll have to go over here to the Chart Type section and select Bar Chart. The chart is a bit difficult to follow since we didn't organize the data first. We can remedy this by selecting all of the data in column B and selecting the Data tab. From there, we'll select the Sort Range by column B from A to Z option. The bar chart is now organized from least collected to most collected. Now that you've learned how to utilize some of the basic Google Sheets functions, let's close with some final considerations. What are the pros and cons of using this program? For pros, you can create spreadsheets online, your work is auto-saved to the Google Cloud as you go, and, most importantly, you can collaborate with others within the program. For cons, some of the more advanced features can take quite a bit of time to learn. Additionally, the customization options for charts and graphs is much more limited than Microsoft Excel. That concludes the 5th video in our G Suite Workshop series. If you learned something new, we hope you'll browse through the full list of options provided here and explore some other offerings. Thanks for watching!